My name is Kimberly Cummings, formerly Kaua'I. I grew up in Waimea Valley with my dad, my mom, an older sister Tammy, a baby brother Keenan, and a Hanai sister for all of my life. I had a pretty normal and quite happy childhood. My paternal grandmother babysat us probably all of our childhood years, and my maternal grandparents, the ones who spoiled us all of our childhood years. I went to Waimea Canyon School, Waimea High School, but it was early in my intermediate years that was my first recollection of hanging with the cool crowd and the onset of smoking cigarettes and using drugs. I must have been around 13 when I smoked my first cigarette. I remember exactly where it was, under the bridge by the PE building leading to the Waimea Athletic Field, and it was a popular site for mischief and bad behaviors. Unfortunately, my drug use escalated in high school to daily use of marijuana, occasional use of cocaine, mushrooms, acid, and most of all, excessive drinking. My drug use continues on as an adult. In fact, it worsened when I moved to Nevada. The party went on and on. In all of this insanity, I really thought I was just a party girl, nothing serious, just loved to party. I was in and out of dysfunctional, abusive, and pathetic relationships, one after another. I got in a lot of trouble when I discovered meth and was allured. I found a new love, a destructive relationship, and probably one of the longest lasting relationships that I would ever encounter. Somewhere deep inside of me, I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't stop. I didn't care, and it didn't matter. During this time, I'd started to sell drugs as well. On one of my downs, I called my parents. I asked them to please send me home. I don't even remember who it was, my parents or my grandparents. But in my heart of hearts, I knew they'd do it. They always did. They never turned their backs, always came to save me. Eventually, I'd come home to Kauai, stayed a little while, and left for Honolulu again. The party still went on. It was there that my life of criminality had taken off. By this time, dealing dope was now an art form. The relationship I was in at the bad time was nothing more than a drug deal gone bad, mere madness. And still, I continued to party. Eventually, to run away from the relationship, I came back home to Kauai, continued on my path of destruction, now my family in tow. Eventually, my parents' home was raided. I got arrested. I was shook up a little bit, but nothing too bad, so I continued partying. But my life had been spiraling out of control. Finally, it happened again. I was raided again. This time would prove to be a lesson, or at least I thought. I was busted with ice, a few pipes, and a lot of money. I was both questioned and eventually made bail later that day. I believe it was a $30,000 bond. Of course, my family came to my aid again. I was later sentenced to 6 months in jail and 5 years probation. Evidence in its finest about how distorted my sense of reality had become, because I really thought that I wasn't going to get in trouble, that I wasn't going to go to jail. The 6 months, it seemed like a lifetime. I swore to sobriety I'll never ever go back. What a lie that would turn out to be. Later that year, I would end up marrying someone that I was using ice with. My husband and myself had been arrested again, and this would have been the blessing in disguise. I had a warrant for a probation revocation, and my husband was also in noncompliance. Anyways, when he was sentenced to 45 days in jail, that was the time that I knew it was time to change. I was ready. I truly surrendered. When he went to jail, I admitted myself to Hinamaka inpatient in Kaneohe in Oahu. I was on my way to change, to freedom, to sobriety, and to breaking that bondage. I graduated with a clinical, I don't know, a few months later. But in my fate, I would actually find peace, strength, and hope. Daily, I would pray, Lord, remove this desire from me. Later on, for the revocation, I was sentenced to Kauai Drug Court Program. I work with a staff that I've grown to love and respect. Judge Murashigi, Alton, Kim Foster, Araceli, Charlotte, and later Tori were people directly involved in my journey. I had a real wrestling match with getting a job during my Kauai Drug Court program, but I can honestly say I never relapsed, not once. I graduated the program in about a year and a half, and during that time had made great strides in my recovery. My husband sought help from Kealapono Recovery Centers. Dr. McKenna, Dr. Foley, and Wendy had also helped to reshape our lives. We hung in there in the most difficult of trials because of our faith. Everything that didn't kill us made us stronger, better, and closer to God. We have a healthy and thriving relationship with our family now, our children, and our grandchildren. We have amazing family that has carried us sometimes when we couldn't walk, friends that would open our eyes when we could not see, and we had an outstanding anti-drug community that had helped to guide us in a sobriety to this wonderful life that we now live. Today, I am the director of Women in Need, Kauai, a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We facilitate courses in life skills, parenting, and domestic violence. We run 2 clean and sober homes on the island, one for women and children, and one for single women in recovery. My executive director, Mary Scott Lau, has given me the chance to serve in the community and population that I once played a vital part in destroying. I'm now doing what God has called me to do. I'm furthering my education at KCC and is currently enrolled in the CSAC program. I'm also interning at Hinamauka. I serve on the County of Kauai Treatment and Integration Committee and the Kauai Domestic Violence Prevention Task Force. I wish to become one of you, yes, one of the many of you that gave me hope for a brighter and cleaner tomorrow. For all of you who are continuing to give people like me opportunities, I graciously commend you. May today there be peace within all of you. May you trust that you are exactly where you're meant to be, as I now know that I am. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith from God, yourself, and others who still believe. May you use the gifts that you have once received and bless others with the opportunity for change. I pay it forward with the love that you have given me. I will be content with myself just the way I am, and when I am not, I will pray for the courage to make the change. I will let this knowledge settle into my bones and allow my soul and freedom to sing, dance, praise, and love, all in sobriety. It is there for each and every one of us.